Today, the S&P 500 index slipped 0.3% in the early New York trade. The U.S. Labor Department released downbeat unemployment claims. Last week was the first one since a recovery in the U.S. economy when the number of jobless Americans remained almost flat. As expected, the U.S. Fed completed its two-day policy meeting, leaving the official funds rate at the level of 4.25%. Besides, the central bank maintained its bond buying program, keeping the volume at $120 billion per month in the long term. The Fed announced that it would raise interest rates not until inflation exceeds 2%, holding there for a long time. The regulator unveiled its outlook for the U.S. economy. So, traders found out that the official funds rate would remain at near zero at least until 2023. An annual GDP rate is expected at 6.5% in 2021, and the unemployment rate is likely to decline to 4.5% this year. Such upward reversion is much more optimistic than the previous forecast made in December. Futures on the US benchmark stock indexes are set for a correctional decline following a rise on Wednesday. Notably, the Dow Jones Index closed yesterday at the level above 33,000 for the first time ever. Today, the index opened at 33,022, at the level it closed the trading day yesterday. The US dollar index closed with gains for 3 days straight, then on Wednesday it shed 0.5%. Now it's regaining footing amid soaring yields of US Treasuries. Today, the US dollar index sharply rebounded after yesterday's drop. Now it's trading at near 91.60. Analysts say the index is to trade in the corridor of 91.30 to 92.00. Yesterday, the Canadian dollar strengthened to 1.24 against its American rival amid the greenback's retreat across the boat. However, experts warned that the loonie could weaken to 1.2580 in the nearest days. Today, the USD CAD pair is trading in a narrow range. Meanwhile, WTI slipped 0.3% to trade at $64.40 a barrel. Commodity experts project WTI to rebound to the price level of $64.60 to $65.60 a barrel. Since Thursday morning, Bitcoin is extending a rally. The number one cryptocurrency topped up the level of $59,000 per token in the first half of the day. Those traders who failed to sell Bitcoin at highs last week have just locked in profits. Today, a catalyst for Bitcoin's rally is the news from Glassnode. The analytic firm reported that returns of Bitcoin miners hit historic daily highs. Meanwhile, there are no reasons to suggest that Bitcoin could halt its bullish run and make a deep downward correction. Crypto assets rose with interest among institutional investors, thus swelling the crypto market capitalization. Last week, the ECB decided to expand bond buying program to bolster economic growth in the European Union. Today, ECB President Christine Lagarde admitted that massive cash injections had not propped up the EU economy yet. European countries might be facing the third pandemic wave and new lockdowns. France reports a sharp increase in new coronavirus cases, up to 38,000 per day. The authorities are braced for the worst in April. Italy has to deal with the same problems. In the United States, yields of 10-year U.S. Treasuries jumped to 1.74% for the first time since the spring 2020, despite the Fed's countermeasures. Investors are discouraged by a weekly update from the U.S. Labor Department. The number of initial unemployment claims declined to 700,000 last week from 770,000 from a week earlier. The more important indicator, the continuing unemployment claims, did not decrease and remained almost flat at 4.144 million. And that's all for today. We keep monitoring the financial market situation. Subscribe to our channel and see you tomorrow.